Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Whatever time of the day you are watching this, hope you are well. And boys and girls, we have a lot to discuss in this ever-evolving merry-go-round that is Nottingham Forest transfer window this summer. We've got to talk about a done deal that has been rejected on personal terms and a fee for a certain individual who is probably going to join Forest, and we're going to get into all of that today. But if you are new here, as always, please do not forget to give the video a quick like, subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and put your notifications on, and you're going to need them on, because I got a feeling this is going to be one hell of a roller coaster week for Nottingham Forest news. Don't forget, tonight as well, we will have the full Prem review for match week 1 on all the games, including Newcastle Forest, as well as all the other Premier League games. And we will be going through the leaderboard on the Predictor Fantasy League. So if you're not involved in that, the link's in the description below. Make sure you've signed up. And for those of you who did, we'll be revealing the leaderboard and seeing who's been the most accurate this week. But guys, we've got too much to talk about, so let's get into it. And let's start with Alex Moreno. Alex Moreno was deal done yesterday. The 9 million fee had been agreed between the two clubs, but he has tweeted moments ago to let the Betis fans know that his destination will be with Betis next season, and has in turn rejected Forest on personal terms and location and many other things I'm sure he considered. This is a bit of a hammer blow for Forest, as it is quite clear to see that there is a bit of uncertainty and happiness towards Tuffalo, with Omar Richards still injured and potentially out for a while. Forest wanted that left back who could play as a left winger as well. That's why they were chasing the likes of Moreno. That's why they were chasing the likes of Cornet as well. This is probably the first time I've been a bit disappointed with Forest in what they've done in the transfer window. Not because I necessarily wanted him or didn't want him, but it's a case of usually the personal conversations would have happened between club and player, or club and the player's agent. So Forest, who have been chasing him for weeks and weeks and weeks now, should have really understood whether or not his desire was to come to Forest or not. I'm sure they must have got some signals to say it was. Maybe they couldn't agree in terms of weekly wages or some other bonus structures, etc. But for me, it's a bit of a setback for the Forest hierarchy, who have invested a lot of time in it. Are you guys disappointed by this one not going through? Are you happy with Tuffalo to continue on at left wing back while we wait for Omar Richards to fully recover? And what is going on with Omar Richards? Are we going to get a definitive answer? Is it a fracture? Is it a break? How long is he going to be out for? Is it weeks? Is it months? Who knows? Who knows right now? But get your thoughts in on Moreno down below. And let's move on to the main headline today. I'm sorry guys, I gave you a break yesterday, but we're going on to Morgan Gibbs-White. The debate is raging. The debate is almost in meltdown with the Nottingham Forest fan base. Do we want Morgan Gibbs-White? Yes. 20 mil, it was too much. 20 mil, max. 25 mil, too much. 30 mil, walk away. 50 mil, no thank you. Now it's 40 mil. And the fan base is so split on this one now. I would say initially everyone was on board for a Morgan Gibbs-White for 20 mil. Once it hit the 30 mark, suddenly we lost probably 20 to 30% of the fan base on it. Once it was 50, everyone said walk away, go for Hussam Ouar, go for another player like that. Now it's back at the 40 mil mark, and everyone is split again. I would say it's 50-50 at the moment from the messages I've been receiving. Now, where are we with it? As I said to you last week, Forest gave their firm and final offer to Wolves for 25 mil plus 10 mil in add-ons, and Wolves rejected it. Rather than walking away, Forest still want to negotiate for him. But I told you there would be a lot of dominoes impacting this, and the first domino has fallen, and it's fallen in the shape of Guedes, who will be joining Wolves for £27 million. He comes in a similar player in terms of position-wise to where Morgan Gibbs-White will be, so that will be knocking Morgan Gibbs-White down the pecking order. As I've explained to you before, Wolves aren't exactly the richest club in the Premier League, and to facilitate that move, it is likely they are going to have to sell some players. Now, they are selling their defender to Everton, I believe it is, for £12 million, but that's only going to touch the sides on the fee they're paying for Guedes. So it is very, very likely that Wolves will now have to sell Morgan Gibbs-White to Nottingham Forest. The flip side of it is as well is that this strengthens Forest's position on the negotiation table, as now Morgan Gibbs-White will see himself as one rung further down the ladder in terms of the pecking order of getting into the first team now that Guedes has joined, or is about to join, should we say, Wolves. From the other flip side, the problem that Marinakis has got is this is Cooper's number one target. This is the player that Cooper wants to build his whole team around. If Cooper doesn't get Morgan Gibbs-White, it's almost like the club saying to him, we're not backing you in the Premier League. We've heard what you wanted to say. We've brought in a few players you've wanted. We've brought a few players in from our technical team who have scouted them, etc. But this Morgan Gibbs-White one, sorry mate, we can't get it to you. Potentially, and I'm just saying this with no basis at all, potentially this is part of why Cooper still hasn't signed his contract, is that he wants to see how the transfer window evolves, and is he going to feel like the club has backed him with his shopping list of players that he's going to bring in. Morgan Gibbs-White is number one on that shopping list. Now, does this deal reach 40 million? No, I can't see it reaching 40 million. Wolves are in a slightly weaker position now that we know they are signing players. But more importantly than that, deals never get done at the prices quoted on the news or the papers or Twitter or wherever you find your information from. Let me give you a few examples. Everyone said Jesse Lingard was on 200k a week. Guess what? It's 80k. Everyone said that Moreno was not going to be done for anything less than 19 million. Forest agreed a deal for 9 million. There's so many of these scenarios that have happened over the transfer window, and not just Forest but at any other club as well, where suddenly the player comes in who's valued at X amount. Look at Haaland. His actual market value is over 100 mil. Yes, he had 1 year left on his contract. There was clauses and everything, but he got done for about 51 million on that as well. So all these kind of deals get speculated at a certain level and get done at a different level. I don't think Forest will pay 40 million for him. It may be 40 million in terms of add-ons. I still think the base of this deal will be 25 mil plus an absolute crapload of add-ons. But I'm saying now, and I'm putting a neck on the line, this deal has to get over the line for Cooper to be happy. I've noticed a bit of a mood shift with Cooper lately. I don't know if it's just me looking too deeply into something, but for me it feels like Cooper is a bit less happy, a bit, I don't know, he's not his usual bubbly self in the interviews. He's very pragmatic in what he's saying at the moment, and I'm wondering if this is behind the cause of it. So for me, this deal gets done. But let's just say it's at 40 million pounds. Let me know if you would pay the 40 million pounds for it. But then answer me this question. Why do we as Forest fans give a damn about what the price is? Marinakis is not an idiot. He knows how many pennies he's got in the old piggy bank, and he knows what he can and can't afford to do. If he goes ahead and does this deal for 40 million, it means that he could afford to do the 40 million pound deal. Whether or not we decide the valuation is 20, 30, 40 or 100 million, what does it matter? We have no involvement in it. And if it is done for 40 million, and let's say Gibbs goes and scores 10, 15 goals that wins us 30, 40 points or whatever it might be, does the value at 30 or 40 million, should I say, then, you know, justify itself with Forest being in the Premier League or pushing for Europe or whatever the scenario would be based on the goals and assists that he could provide? You would then look back at it and no one would be talking about 40 million. His valuation could skyrocket and he could be worth 60, 70 million in a couple of years' time. You don't know. I don't know. No one knows. But we have to have faith in what Cooper wants. And if the manager wants him, and if you guys are saying you back the manager for his project and what he's doing at Forest, and if you're going to use that quote and everyone throws it around, in Cooper we trust, then in Cooper you better trust. Cooper wants Morgan Gibbs-White. Number one choice. End of story. If you say you back Cooper, you back Morgan Gibbs-White if he comes through that door at 10 million or 60 million, because that's who Cooper wants. So Have a think about that, but let me know your thoughts in the comment below. As you all know, I'm happy for a Morgan Gibbs White in the Forest team in whatever price, or should I say with whatever price tag comes from him, because it's what Cooper wants, and it's what I want, because I've seen plenty of him, and I think he's got the potential to hit some dizzy heights for Forest. Let me know your thoughts on that one, guys. We'll wrap it up now, because I've got a feeling there's probably going to be a second video later on tonight. Well, we've also got the live stream as well. That will be kicking off this evening, so make sure you've got your notifications on. I will put the link in the video once we've uploaded it ready for the stream. Before you go, guys, please don't forget to give the video a quick like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can also now become a member for 99p, which would support the channel a huge amount and help us keep bringing the news on Forest to you, as well as the matches on match day. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you later on this evening. Come on, you Reds.